Welcome into another edition of Meet the Bird Gang. We have another special guest with us today. It's one of our newest professional baseball players, Shay Whitcomb, out of the University of California, San Diego. Shay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So it's just been a week and a half since you were drafted into professional baseball. Has the excitement settled down? What's these last 10 or so days been like?
Yeah, I don't know if the excitement will ever kind of quiet down, but the last few weeks have been they've been good and exciting after the draft. I just got back from Houston a few days ago where I took a physical and signed, and actually hung out with Zach Daniels, who also got drafted by the Astros. So it was good to see him again and good to connect and go through that process with a former teammate.
What's your relationship with Zach like?
Oh, I mean, it's great. I mean, we played the whole summer together, grinded, balled out. So, I mean, it's as good as you can wish for.
You say the excitement might not ever settle down, but I want to talk about the initial reaction. You're sitting there, 5th round, pick 160, and Matt Vasgersian calls your name. What's going through your head?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely stressful leading up to that point, but hearing my name called was definitely a surreal experience. I mean, that's something that I've been dreaming of since I was little, playing in Little League. So, yeah, it was a special moment.
Were the Astros a team you spoke to prior to the draft?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and my agent had been in communication with them, and they were definitely high on our list just because of their player development and how well known that is.
Had you ever been to Houston prior to the physical?
No, I actually have not. That was my first time.
What's the first instinct of the area?
I like it. It's a nice city. It's a little hot compared to San Diego, but I mean that's like most of the Midwest. So,
all right, so back to draft night. It's June 11th, tail end of the night. Who were you watching the draft with? Was it family, friends, a little bit of both?
Yeah, it was my family. It was just me and my family watching it.
And what's your parents' reaction when they hear your name?
They were cheering and they were super happy about it. Yeah, like I said, it was really special to be able to share that moment with them.
So a lot of guys do spend draft night with their family. That's the initial reaction, the initial celebration. But I'm curious to who the first person you spoke to that you weren't with when your name was called was.
Yeah. So afterwards, I'd known that I was going to get picked a few minutes before. So I texted my old infield and hitting coach from high school, actually, who like really was a mentor to me and kind of developed me. And I let him know like, hey, I should go here in the last round with the Astros. Just like want to let you know. And it was cool to be able to, for someone like him to see like him investing his time and effort into somebody and seeing it paying off.
Very wholesome moment. So you mentioned Zach Daniels is one of the guys you're obviously going to be in touch with a lot of now. Who are some of the other Orleans guys who you've spoken to since draft day?
Yeah, I've spoken to a bunch of people, pretty much all the guys that got drafted. I was talking to Tanner Murray earlier for the Rays. I was obviously talking to Zach, and then also some other guys who weren't drafted, like Eddie McCabe and Josh Zamora. So looking forward to their upcoming years and be able to join us in the minors soon.
All right, so I spoke to Tanner a couple of days ago, and he mentioned that you, him, and Nick Garcia lived together on the Cape with the same host family.
Yeah, I actually spoke with him yesterday. So
what was that house dynamic like? What were you guys doing in the Cape? Because you all clearly had a successful June 11th. What was the summer like with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably one of the most fun summers I've ever had, living with those dudes and playing ball at Orleans Park. Yeah, that house is awesome. Our host family was amazing. And being able to come home after games and have dinner made, and that just kind of made everything a little bit easier.
So you were one of only 3 Division II players selected in this 5-round MLB draft. Does that hold a special place in your mind or heart?
Yeah, I mean, I had kind of been trying to break this D2 barrier a little bit, and I knew that it would hold me back in some areas. So it is a special moment, and I hope that it it kind of acts as a symbol for future D2 players and kind of to show that they can hang with those big Power 10 schools.
Well, you've absolutely shown in the past that you can hang with the best of them in the Cape Cod Baseball League. You were tied for second with 8 home runs. Your power was on display all summer. What was clicking for you hitting-wise in Orleans?
I made some minor adjustments just based on velo. I don't see too much consistent velo in the Division II level. So making adjustments, quieting my hands down, making my swing a little more concise, really helped me put the barrel on the ball. And with that extra velo, it goes a little further.
Was that something you maybe thought of on your own or worked with coaches in Orleans, other players? Who helped you work on that new technique?
Yeah. During the beginning of this season, everybody was struggling out for the Orleans team. We were all not hitting too great, at least from a statistics perspective. So we were all kind of bouncing ideas off each other and just trying to figure it out and have it click for us. And so that paired with I was talking to one of my hitting coaches back from school and just trying to pick his brain about certain little adjustments that could be made.
So you have a good relationship with your coaches at school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are some of the things they've maybe told you since your name was called?
Just a lot of congrats. They're happy for me. I was the highest drafted player out of their school. So that's definitely a cool moment for especially our head coach. And going into D1, I'm sure I won't hold that title for much longer. But he was happy for me.
What's your relationship like with Kelly Nicholson and some of the other coaches from the Firebirds?
Yeah, Kelly's awesome. I was talking to him a few weeks before the draft, and he lives out here close to me. So hopefully one of these days I'll be able to sit down and get dinner with him soon. But he's a great guy, and that's all credit to him for making the summer so special for me.
Now that you're a pro ball player, who fronts the bill on that dinner?
I'd probably pick him up on it.
All right. And I'm curious, you spent a full summer in Orleans. What was your best memory on the Cape?
Oh, that's a tough one. We had a lot of good memories. I would say one of my best memories was probably hitting a home run at Falmouth. That was a really special one to me. It was the first time that I had seen triple digit velo. And so that was like a really cool benchmark moment. And right after, I called my coach and my hitting coach, and I told him kind of what happened and what was going through my mind. And it was just one of those moments that I'll always remember, that just kind of stick in my mind.
Triple digits is something not a lot of people ever see. What's it like facing 100 off the gun?
It's definitely different. It's almost just like a blur coming by you. So it really forces you to stick to your plan, especially because everything is so sped up and unpredictable. It really grounds you in your approach.
So on Meet the Bird Gang, I like to play a little game with a lot of the guys called the Cycle. Just 4 levels of questions. They get a little more thought involved as we go on, if you want to give it a go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the single question is, what is the single most important thing you've learned in your time as a college baseball player, whether it was in spring ball or summer ball?
Yeah, the single most important thing I learned is to know who you are as a player. Especially for me, that rings true, because in D2, I can be a different player than I would be in the Cape facing better competition. So for me, it was very important to learn who I was in Division II, and then also how that translates to what kind of player I am at the highest level as well.
What kind of player are you at the highest level?
So in D2, I could have some power and hit balls over the fence and like I said, hit for power. And so I was wondering how that would translate over into higher velo, better competition, better stuff from pitchers. And so being able to experience success at that level too kind of solidified my belief in being able to hit the ball over the fence.
Awesome. Now for the double, who were your 2 most entertaining teammates with the Firebirds?
I would say Tanner for one, and then probably Zeb Vermillion from Arkansas. Those two guys are always making jokes and making people smile.
Awesome. Now for the triple, we're going to get to know you a little more here. You're out of college now, but all college kids like to eat. Known fact. So what are your 3 favorite chain restaurants and your go-to orders at them?
Ooh, okay. I got to go with In-N-Out. That's definitely a must. I might just go all burger places because that's kind of like our staple for our team. Like we win a game and we go out to eat. Actually, I'll throw Chipotle in there too because we're always going there. So In-N-Out, Chipotle, and then probably Five Guys.
A lot of the California guys have In-N-Out number 1 on their list.
Yeah.
Adam Seminaris had it up there as well.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. And the home run question, we're not actually going to have a question for you on this one. I want to give you an opportunity to shout out or thank anyone, everyone, whoever that's helped you along the way.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Definitely Kelly. He's very high up on that list. And I called him after I got drafted and just kind of gave him my thanks for everything that he did for me. And I was on a temp contract going into the summer. And so him seeing something in me and letting me stay for the full time definitely had some weight in this draft. So if it weren't for him, I probably might not have been drafted this year. So big shout out to him. Also to my college coaches for sure, developing me over the past 3 years. That was very crucial in my success. And then to all my teammates that I have played with over the past 3 years, like learning from them and learning how to be a better teammate and player because of them. That's something that you're going to carry with you throughout your years. So.
Awesome. And one final thing is going to be you experienced something on June 11th that a very small percentage of people get to in their life, being drafted into professional baseball. So for everyone out there, what's it like to be able to call yourself a pro baseball player?
Yeah, it hasn't really sank in that much yet. I feel like I'm still in the excitement stage like we were talking about. But it's definitely something special. I was filling out some forms for the Astros, and it was said occupation, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, I don't have to put full-time student anymore. Like I can put like professional baseball player, and it was just cool. Knowing my goals and my dreams as even as a little kid, like I said earlier, it meant a lot. It was a special moment.
You've reached those goals, obviously. Do you have any advice for college guys, high school guys, even little leaguers who want to get to where you are?
Yeah, I would just say work hard and build a network. Knowing a lot of people and helping you along the way can give you a lot of put you in a lot of good opportunities. Like my agent and his company, Rosenhaus Sports, shout out to them, by the way. Without his help, I probably would not have established that connection with Kelly and been even given that opportunity for a temp contract. So.
That's great. Thanks so much, Shay. Thank you for taking the time on Meet the Bird Gang. Once again, I'm Jacob Kronberg for our very special guest, one of our newest professional baseball players, Shay Whitcomb. Thanks for watching.